Hi folks, hope you're okay today. It's good to be with you. I just want to talk a couple of videos before I go into church. Just waiting for the church to open. I just want to talk about Paul Williams and evangelical scholarship and biblical scholarship. Paul Williams is a Muslim apologist, and he says, look at Bart Ehrman, Christians, look at these scholars, they're all criticising the Bible. You need to realise what's happening and abandon the Bible. But I just want to say it's not fair, because in Islamic scholarship, Muslim scholars can't deviate from the path of orthodoxy. If they do, they lose their jobs. They can even lose their lives. So if we was to quote a liberal Islamic scholar, the Muslims wouldn't even listen to it. And they're very rare to find, because the Muslims are hunted down in the academic world if they deviate from believing in the Quran. Now, that's different. For the last 300 years, Christianity has had constant criticism from the Enlightenment, and the universities are infected with liberalism, and even the seminaries. So there are countless more scholars to quote from, and these scholars are not living in fear of their lives. So when the Muslim apologists start quoting Christian scholars and saying, you know, they expose the Bible and everything like that, you need to understand that that's where it's coming from. That we've come in the last 300 years a post-Enlightenment society that's constantly criticised the Bible. The Quran has never come under that kind of intellectual scrutiny. It's never come under that. It's never shown that intellectual freedom like we have in the West. So the two cannot be compared. And we're happy if you quote liberal scholars against us. We don't mind that. We're not going to hunt them down. We're not going to kill them or get them to lose their jobs and things like that. We welcome scholars to write books and critique us. You know, we don't put fatwas on them. So when Paul Williams holds up Bart Ehrman, you know, just think about that. And the other thing is, when he holds up Bart Ehrman, even in his own field, is seen as extreme in some areas. You know. Thirdly, a lot of these scholars like Bart Ehrman, they're not influenced by evidence but by theories. Bart Ehrman, for example, is a postmodernist. He believes that there's no one interpretation of the Bible or one interpretation of a text. Yet, just ambulance. Yet is very, very dogmatic about an interpretation of the Bible. So on the one hand, he's a postmodernist. There's no such thing as one interpretation of a text. There are many interpretations. Yet at the same time, he writes books attacking Christianity, saying, I'm certain that Christianity is wrong in this area. So again, there's hypocrisy by Bart Ehrman and hypocrisy by Paul Williams using these scholars. He uses these kind of scholars who are postmodernists, who don't believe in one interpretation of a text. And he uses these scholars to bash Christianity. And these scholars who say they don't believe in one interpretation, there are many interpretations, are very dogmatic about their interpretation. I hope that was you got all that. So those are some thoughts about Paul Williams, Muslim apologetics, and biblical scholarship. I hope that's of interest to you, and I hope it's a blessing to you. Take care.